Welcome everyone to this new episode of the Privacy Rules Privacy Espresso series, a series where we go through the latest news on privacy, data protection, and technologies from all over the world. And we do that with the experts of the Privacy Rules Alliance, sometimes also with some guest speakers, in order to provide you the view of people working daily with those type of matters. And today with me, I have Endre Varady from the Hungarian law firm VJT Lawyers. That is a law firm specialized also in privacy and data protection. Endre is partner of the firm and is the head of the data protection team. So I'm very pleased to have him with us today. So first of all, hi, Endre, nice to see you.
Hi, very nice to see you as well. And I'm very happy to be on board.
Thanks a lot, Endre. And yes, today I'm inviting you and I'm pleased to speak with you because there is something very interesting to discuss about. That is the NIS2 directive that, as many of our followers knows, is the recent new EU cybersecurity legislative package. There are some countries that have already implemented it in a very specific way, and Hungary is one of those. So today we will be speaking about this. I believe that we can immediately start because Privacy Espressos are very short. So, Endre, my first question for you would be, which are the changes that NIS2 will bring to Hungary, in particular for what concern cybersecurity?
Yes, NIS2 is a very hot topic in Hungary now, and I think it will bring major changes in cyber security in Hungary. On one hand, because it will really apply broadly. It will affect many entities, mainly middle-sized and large-sized entities in 16 sectors, from waste management to various manufacturing industries to science. And according to some estimates, around 2,000 entities are affected. That is a big number. And out of these 2,000 organizations, many of them have never heard about cyber security obligations. So there are many players who will have to start from scratch. That is one side of the coin. And the other side of the coin is that there will be a lot of cyber security obligations. Many of them are already familiar to you from the NIS2 directive, like the incident response or the business continuity plan. But what is interesting in Hungary, that there will be a ministerial decree which will specify the actual technical and organizational measures in more than 100 pages. So depending on the security risk level, the final number of required security measures could vary from around 100 to almost 400 measures. That is, again, a big number, so there will be a lot of homework, very long to-do list, especially for those companies who start from scratch.
Perfect, Endre. Thanks a lot for this brief and quick overview. I understand that this framework is pretty complex and they have a lot of requirements for companies. Another thing it might be worth to mention is that the time in Hungary is pretty short because 30th of June is the date for its enactment there. Am I right?
Yes, NIS2 has been implemented in Hungary, and there are more deadlines, and companies shall follow these deadlines step by step. Now, the next deadline is 30 June 2024, when the businesses shall submit the registration application to the cybersecurity regulator, as they must be registered with the cybersecurity regulator. This is a must-do homework, as the cybersecurity regulator will check who are those entities who registered and who are those who should have been registered. And we have more than a month, but many inputs should be gathered. So I really recommend companies to start working with the registration task right away.
Thanks a lot, Endre, and yes, definitely a good indication and guideline. Just speaking about implementation. So, what does consist NIS2 in? I mean, is just compliance with a long to-do list, or it's something more than that?
Well, on one hand, it is definitely a ticking exercise where you have to tick the done homework. So it is a method of work where you have to comply with the long to-do list. But on that other hand, it is definitely much more than that, because it is not enough just to have the right security measures. For more reasons. One of the reasons is that it is not enough to have these measures, but you also have to prove that your processes are NIS2 compliant. And for this reason, businesses will have to be audited by the independent cybersecurity regulator every 2 years. And this again means that businesses will also have to develop a new way of thinking to adjust to the logic of the auditor and prepare for these cyber security audits, for example, via cyber security simulations. Also, if you just have security measures, but the general cybersecurity awareness is very low at all levels of the organization, then they do not really mean a lot, because we know that human factor is the biggest cyber security threat in Hungary, and people still got easily scammed by very basic phishing tricks. So apart from the long to-do list ticking type of exercise, I really emphasize the importance of preparing for audits and carrying out cybersecurity trainings.
Perfect. And I understand that, it's a bit more than ticking boxes, and some boxes in particular might require a lot of work, in particular for what concerns, for example, training and prevention. That is always a big issue on the cybersecurity side. Speaking about these, and in your professional experience, you know this sector very well. Which do you believe is the biggest challenge in NIS2 compliance for Hungary in particular?
Well, first of all, I think complying with this long to-do list will be a big exercise for everybody. That will be definitely a big homework. But apart from this burdensome work, on a practical level, we can see that there are some requirements. We are not yet sure how they will be implemented in practice. For example, I consider it especially challenging to notify the cyber security regulator about the security incident within 24 hours. I think this will not be impossible without very well developed security incident mechanism. So here, outside assistance from service providers who already have a very developed security incident mechanism will be highly recommendable. And it is also questionable, in my view, what will businesses do with their supply chain, as they will bear liability for suppliers' cyber security on one hand, but on the other hand, we cannot expect from businesses to control these suppliers on a daily level. So here, I think it would be very important to review the supplier agreements to at least reflect the NIS2 requirements in these supplier agreements, and it will be also very important to insert indemnity clauses to protect businesses in the right manner.
Perfect. Thanks a lot for these. And let's move a bit even more practical. So I will try to take some sort of advice on your side this time in relation to this NIS2. So which is your recommendation in relation to NIS2? So how affected business should start compliance work? Because it seems a big effort. So where to start, at least, I think it might be nice to know for our audience.
Yes, sure. It is a very big question, and it is difficult to briefly answer it, but I will try. I think as there are a lot of tasks, it is very important to apply the step-by-step approach and only focus always on the next milestone. As I said, the next milestone is the registration. So companies, as they have just around 1 month to register, they should start working on it. And after the registration is done, the first step will be to carry out a risk analysis to identify security risk level, because based on the security risk level, companies can decide which are the security measures which are appropriate for them and which should be implemented. And once this preparatory work is done, businesses will be able to identify the total amount of work, and then they should decide whether they can do this homework on their own or outside assistance will be required. If they require outside assistance, I recommend them to work quickly, as there is huge demand for NIS2 compliance, but there are very few cybersecurity experts in Hungary. So long story short, I would emphasize the step-by-step approach, preparing an action plan and start implementing the action plan quickly, as the first audit will have to be carried out by the end of the next year.
That's pretty strict timeline. Thanks a lot, Endre. And even on our experience managing the alliance, step-by-step approach, risk assessment, it's always the beginning, and it's also the best approach for what concerns finance of the companies. Meaning that by doing this first step, then you know how much efforts also under the economic perspective to put into certain additional activities or not. And of course, being driven by experts like you is also the best way to know where to focus, where to expend your money in the right way without wasting them. So I very much advise our listeners to contact experts like Endre and the team of VJT for this. If you want to know more about this topic, there is an entire article made by Endre and this team that will be shared together with this recording. Endre, we are running out of our time. I would like to thank you very much for your very nice and clear explanation of this topic. I would like to thank our listeners for being with us today, and I look forward to meet you all with our next Privacy Espresso. Bye, Endre.
Thank you. It was my pleasure. Bye.